I'll wrap myself back. Everyone will go, I don't even see you getting money now, so it's weird. It's like a symptomatic scam. So it's not like being mugged at knife point where someone says, give me all your money. You say, I haven't got your money, and they say, that's okay, I can still have your money. No, you haven't got your money. Right, that makes sense. I was just thinking today though, when I was driving down, I'll tell you what I feel sorry for, it's the flu. It's just gone, isn't it? Miracle! It's like the loyal family pet that you've had for decades. And then the kids have gone, I want a puppy from COVID. And the flu's like, oh mate, come on. I'm going to stick with it. Oh, flu's for life, not just every year but this year. I was speaking to a friend in Germany the other day, and he was saying that in Germany, last year there were 25,000 flu deaths, and this year there's 500, but there's 24,000 COVID deaths. I've got a theory. How bizarre. But my theory is wrong. What it is the flu's gone because everyone's wearing masks and social distancing, following rules.
Yeah.
But COVID's on the rise because no one's wearing masks, no one's social distancing, and no one's following the rules. So what you're seeing is the normalisation of insanity, basically, the world over. Yeah. So in China, flight attendants are encouraged to wear nappies at work so they don't have to go to the toilet. And in Germany, they've cancelled Christmas and New Year's, and they've said you're not allowed fireworks. Fireworks are banned. So what the government have said is what you should do, just turn the light on off again. Do you know what's the craziest part of all of it? Someone will do that.
Make sure they're wearing a mask first.
It's crazy, but there you go. It's psychological warfare, that's what it is. So when I did the first speech in Birmingham, I never thought it would be like something I was ever going to do, but I did this speech in Birmingham and I was saying like it's a psychological war. Like government policy is being run by psychologists. Sage is taking advice from people that pay for insights to you. So it's all psychology. And when I was driving down today, they had a guy on the radio who came on, a government advisor, who was saying we should cancel Christmas because otherwise we're all going to get locked down again in January. And again, he was a psychologist, and I was thinking, look, we wouldn't take advice from a dentist. Do you know what I mean? They came and go, this is great, and he's a chiropractor. You go, one of these things ground. It doesn't make any sense. But the reason it's psychologists is because they need to make us compliant, and they do that by psychologically trauming us, breaking us. And it really, really confused me, and I was looking at friends of mine that are dead switched on politically, like they can see manipulation a mile away. Even in the alternative media as well, they've been on it for decades, talking about Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, depopulation, cashless society, mandatory vaccinations. Oh, sorry, yeah, I'll stand on that, yeah.
That's better.
My mum always told me I shouldn't be standing on benches and stuff. My shoes are cleaned up, panic.
Hi, I'm Spence. I'm straight. I'm a COVID-idiot.
Anyway, yeah. So,
Okay.
so yes, so psychological warfare, and that you know, I was looking at all my friends and the alternative media. All these things they've been predicting for decades are happening as a result of COVID, but it's definitely not a scam and it's definitely not being manipulated. And I was thinking this is crazy, and then I found this thing on the internet called the Biderman's chart of coercion. I don't know if anyone's heard of this, right? The one I found, it was compiled by Amnesty International, I think about 1974, 73, and what it was going through different ways in which prisoners of war were psychologically destroyed, basically. And it ticked every single box. Now, I won't go through it all today, but I will say to people, have a Google of Biderman's chart of coercion and just have a look at it. The first one's isolation. One of them as well was showing the dominance of power, right? And a variant of that was to cover the victim's face. You know what I mean?
Hey.
But there were two that were really important to me that I thought, and they're quite important to now for this time of year. So this was a couple of months ago. I was saying they won't give us Christmas. There's no way they'll let us have Christmas. And my wife was saying, no, I think they will. They'll let us have Christmas, and then they'll shut us down again in January and say it was our fault. Right? So okay, flip a coin.
Abusive relationship.
So one of the things on the Biden's chart of coercion was occasional indulgences. Right? So let people have a little bit. There's a biscuit, mate. There you go. Enjoy that. And what it does is that encourages compliance, right? And that's exactly what they've done. They're going to give us Christmas. And just as a little sort of segue to that, I've seen quite a lot of people saying, Boris is an idiot. Why is he giving them Christmas? You know, he's not doing it because he wants to do it. Trust me. He's doing it because he has to do it. Because as was displayed in the second lockdown, no one complied. And so no one's gonna comply. No one's gonna go, oh, I want to see my mum at Christmas, but the fat milky bar kid said I can't, so I'm not gonna. They're not gonna do that. Everyone's gonna do it anyway. And what that then does, government says you're locked down, everyone ignores it, and it's a massive, massive example then of exactly where the power is. And they can't have that. So what they've done is they've gone, okay, we'll let them have Christmas. Because then we let them have it, we let them have it. And that's exactly what they've done. Anyway, the other thing on the chart was saying ridiculous demands was one. So if I can get you to do something that you know is ridiculous, but you do it anyway, like put a mask on, then sit down, take the mask off in the restaurant, chat for 2 hours, put them in your weird, put it back on again. If you can make people do that, then that breaks people psychologically, and that's the whole point. So another thing is, another thing as well is people always say, oh, the government's lying, of course governments do lie. But with this, they tell us what's happening. They tell us everything. And what they think is that we're either too stupid or too lazy or too psychologically damaged to put it all together and figure it out. So the PCR test is what gives everyone the cases. Now, they openly say that anything above 35 cycles of amplification is dead viruses from when you were a kid, it's broken RNA, it's dead cells, and then the NHS says on their own website that they use 45 cycles of amplification. So they're not lying, they tell you that. So you've got all these cases. So how do we turn those cases then into deaths and hospitalisations? Well, it's easy. What we do is if you've had a positive test with a test that we've already admitted doesn't work, within 28 days if you die of anything, it's a COVID death. And when I looked on Public Health England, actually in a lot of cases it was 60 days. So you're in a crazy situation where I can get a test, it says I'm positive even though the test doesn't work, and then I can get shot out of a rocket to the moon, right, die of COVID. And it's the same with the hospitalisation. So if I fall off here now and I break my leg, but in the last 28 days I've had a positive test with a test that they admit doesn't work, I'm a COVID hospitalisation. So again, that's how they're not lying to you. It's almost like this weird occultist kind of black magic vampire has to get permission to cross the threshold kind of thing. So they tell us what they're doing, and then because we say nothing, our silence is our compliance, and it's us going, okay, yeah, you can go ahead and do what you're doing. So also with the deaths, because it's happening the world over, this is madness, right? So in America, I saw a story yesterday, I can't remember the name of the county, which is annoying, but there, of the COVID deaths, 2 out of 5 COVID deaths, right? Because bear in mind everything counts as COVID. 2 out of 5, 40% of COVID deaths there involved a gunshot wound.
That's America.
Do you know what I mean? It's just madness, isn't it? It's just madness. But there you go, it is on the bullets, yeah, that's it, yeah. I was bleeding out again, COVID. But I am encouraged. I'm encouraged by the second lockdown, I'm encouraged by all these people here today. Because the whole thing ends when we say it ends. It's as simple as that. Yep. If we can go from a situation where we don't believe what the government tells us to a position where we don't do what the government tells us, it's done. It's done. And just one more thing as well, as for the vaccines, this is another case where they openly admit, they tell you, they always tell you. So the government says on its own website that it might make you infertile, we don't know. Well, they tell you that, it's there in black and white on their own website. The vaccine manufacturer tells you that they're only 5 months into a 2-year trial. So for the rest of that 2 years, you're the trialist. They tell you that. The CEO says, Pfizer says he doesn't know if it will stop you spreading it. They openly admit it, and like I say, it's right there. It's almost like if you don't do anything about it when you've got that information, that's your way of saying, okay, I accept what I'm getting. No chance, mate. But like I say, I'm encouraged. I'm massively encouraged. I don't think, I know we'll win, because we've got no choice but to win. We have to win. We have to win for our kids and for our grandkids. I've got a young daughter, and we have to win. But also, we win for everyone that's been destroyed by this. We win for all those people that have had their livelihoods and businesses destroyed, those that have taken their own lives as a result of that, kids that have died alone in hospital beds without their family because their family was banned. Only a psycho would do anything like that. But we win for them. We went for the elderly that had do not resuscitate orders put on them and they had their treatment withdrawn and left to die alone. We win it for them because we have to. So I'll just leave you with this. I've said it before, but it serves to be said again. We are the 99.99%.
We
and
are!
We need to remember that. We need to remember that. We are the ones with all the power. We've just forgotten. We've just forgotten. Centuries from now, they'll speak of this time not because we rolled over, but because we drew the line. That's the point. And the line is here. The line is here. Have an absolutely fantastic Christmas, everyone.